Yo, what's good, man? You tune into the round table, man. This segment, it's Black History Month.
Yes, it is.
So, we're going to try to enlighten.
Big facts.
We're going to try to teach and give people the knowledge and wisdom of stuff that they need. So, we're going to talk about who our favorite Black historians are. We're going to start with Kid Proper and go down the line.
I would say my favorite person for Black History Month would be Rosa Parks, because she stood up for what she stood for. And I'm a strong believer in stand on your word. Whatever you say, you got to stand on it. And if she say, I don't think it's right that I got to sit, I don't think it's right that you got to choose what I got to say, I'm going to say what I want.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and that's it. I'm a strong believer in that. Stand on your word. And she did. She didn't get up.
That's revolutionary.
Yeah, she stood on her word.
Literally started the civil rights movement.
Yep. I'm going to stand on my word every day. What about you? Who you got in mind?
In my mind, bro, I gotta go with Malcolm X, L. House, Malik Al-Shabazz. And what's crazy is, like, the first time I saw the movie, I was like 7 years old. And even though I was 7, cause those that know me know I come from a Muslim background.
Me too.
And my pops always instilled things in me. Like, I grew up in a household where we had like Black History comic books.
What?
And shit, yeah, Black History comic books.
Was it a superhero?
Yeah, facts.
But it was a black superhero?
Yeah, but I'm not realizing that we learning about history with the comic books. You know what I'm trying to say?
Dope.
They tricking us to learn about history.
We need more of that right now.
So, you know what I mean? Long story short, when I seen the movie, I understood everything that was happening, even though I was only 7 years old.
Right.
And the scene where they killed him, I cried. I cried like crazy because I understood the significance of that at 7.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't watch the end of that movie for years. Because every time, I'd skip the end because I knew that, it touched me here. I felt like I was actually there and actually watching him being assassinated. And I respected Malcolm because he was a man of morals, conviction. He stood on his square, and he was the definition of integrity.
Right.
Where a lot of our leaders were sold us out. A lot, people don't understand, man. Like, there's so much they don't know about that situation. When Malcolm went overseas to Mecca, the Saudis wanted to keep him. The Saudis offered him refuge and told him that, if you go back to America, they're going to kill you. And Malcolm said, nah, I got to go back. My people are there. It's not right for me to stay here and my people's over there suffering through bondage still. Right. He could have stayed in Mecca and been rich. And they would have brought his family over there. He would have been good. He could have avoided all of that. But he actually went back to America knowing that he was going to die. Literally. But he had to stand tall for his people. He had to go ahead and be that shining light and shining example. So it's just kind of like, my biggest inspiration in my life is Malcolm X. So for me, Malcolm X would definitely be that guy. Malcolm's first, Fred Hampton second, and everybody else is just in the same category.
Got you.
So my favorite is Malcolm X as well, and I want to say Harriet Tubman too. Like,
she was gangster.
Yeah, like she stood up for what she believed in, and she could have really like left people behind, and she really did her thing. Like, she kept going back and back. She was wanted. She was fearless, like, and she was a woman. So that's hard itself. So for her to like go out there and do her thing, and that's inspiring. And then you got Malcolm X, who's the voice of the people. Like, he did his thing. Like, he fearless, and he just stood up for black people. All like, he just.
Right, she's right. If you look into the history of Malcolm X, he put a lot into uplifting his people, and he didn't get a lot of the
he didn't care what was going to go
because it was an objective that was way beyond our.
That's a whole nother. That's
a whole nother topic for another day.
Another day.
It didn't reach you who it needed to reach for a reason, and you got to stop allowing yourself to play along with their plan. It's all manipulated. Stop playing along with the plan. Think for yourself.
That's a fact. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
that's a fact.
Keep dropping that wisdom, man. Drop that science, because it's kind of like at the end of the day, we're going to end it on that note. People need to understand that you need, people, African American, indigenous, Moors, so many terms now, whatever you want to refer to. So melanated people, I'll use the word melanated people.
We gotta say that.
You know what I'm trying to say? Your history is more than just 1 month.
Right.
Don't let these people confine your history. Black History Month is in February.
Exactly.
No, your history is 24/7.
Hello.
365. Your history cannot be put in just 1 month. So don't ever do that. But you need to, and a lot of us need to go ahead and start studying more and start enlightening ourselves more. Because if we was more enlightened to our history, a lot of things that we do to each other, we wouldn't do. Because we understand that we would understand that we kings and queens.
Exactly, and just to piggyback on that, I wouldn't even keep jumping on the narrative of that black men, we kill each other. Like, let's not even talk about that. You feel me? Like, if we out there dealing with our regular, everyday conversations and we talking about current news and what's going on, let's not even bring up the negatives.
That's right.
Let's talk about the next person of the same race and talk about positivity. For us, we got to work on building us, because we're being graded one by one. So it's not like that we being graded as a whole, because as a whole, they saying that we are menace to society,
predators, everything.
Why do you think
your
that
own
they doing
president
that?
called you a super predator, and y'all still went out there and voted for him. Well, that's another story for another day.
Oh, this
And
election
it's,
was so boring.
Your own president called you a super predator. But we gotta enlighten ourselves.
And the thing is, they want us to push things under the rug, and we can't. Like, we just gotta keep talking about it, and then so things won't get repeated.
And to add to that, one more thing that you said also, people don't understand. If you understand the dynamics, people kill where they live at.
Right.
So most black people live around other black people. Right. So when they're going to kill other black people, most Chinese people live around other Chinese people. So the Chinese person is going to kill a Chinese person. Most white people live around other white people. So a white person is going to kill a white person. Italians, Arabs, etc., etc., etc. So when they talk about this black on black crime narrative, you know what I mean? Let's talk about white on white crime.
And my
Not
thing
to
is,
cut y'all off. Like, I had a conversation with somebody of the another race, and she was like maybe if we stop talking about color, but like that's life, that's real, like that's real life, that's what we go through. This is our heritage. Like, basically, we gonna talk like this. We gonna talk about black, white, and different race.
Look at this. Who makes the biggest impact? What community of people make the biggest impact on entertainment in general?
We do.
And that's true. People don't talk about it. Like,
who make the biggest impact? We control all of this. What's being played on our radios.
I'm racist or nothing. I ain't no racist,
I'm not talking about racist and all that stuff. I'm talking about human psychology. What's going on? What's being showed to you guys to cause certain emotions and feelings to make you agree with the person that we aren't supposed to be agreeing with. We got to really think for ourselves, and I'm gonna keep jumping into that. We got to think for ourselves, and we can't go and look at something on the news and say, those people like that over there. We got to go over there and we got to find out for ourselves.
And that's a fact. And it comes through experience. It comes through understanding. A lot of people lack understanding. They lack wisdom. They lack knowledge. And that's the issue, and that's the problem.
They think we're dumb, but we're not dumb. Why are we playing their narrative that we negative?
And we have to stop feeding into their stereotypes because, and in this of no, black people, one thing we got to stop doing also, we got to start. Whenever something happens to a black person, we got to do better. We got to do better. No, that person that fucked up got to do better. Stop putting your whole race, nationality, what you want to call it, in one category.
That's what's manipulated for you to think.
If you got other cultures,
that's true.
If you look at the Jewish culture, if Mr. Rabinowitz messes up, then Mr. Rabinowitz has to deal with that. He gets ousted out the clan. You know what I'm trying to say? If you deal with Chinese culture, it's the same thing. They blame that one person. That gotta take responsibility for their actions. So all that we gotta do better. No. You have to keep on doing what you have to do for, as far as taking care of your family and making sure that the people that you love and care for are safe and secure. But all that, we got to do better. Stop that.
Look, before we go, post on your Instagram what you're doing for your family. That's good. That's positive.
That's a
black
fact. Let's
person.
start the new challenge or
Facts.
whatever. Y'all doing this dollar for dollar
Let's
challenge.
change the narrative.
Yeah, let's change the narrative. Post the positive things you're doing. Post the interactions with your kids. Post the things you do in the community as positive or whatever. Let's go ahead and try to change the narrative or whatever and change that perception that they wasn't create that's false altogether.
Let's start that hashtag. We not dumb.
We not hashtag we not dumb.
We not
and
dumb.
on that note, y'all know what it is, man. You know, it's another episode of Round Table. Kid Problem, we thank you for coming. Candy, you always holding it down.
I'm gonna drop the
Thank
gems,
you.
man. I don't play around, man. I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Before we end this off, I want y'all to tune into my new music video. It's called Gallus. Click the link in my bio, Cuban__Candy.
Okay, let's get it. You know what I mean? And you know, you can find them on Popparotz TV.
Right.
Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Popparotz TV. You now tune into the Round Table. We out.
Keep proud.